Welcome and welcome back to Mind Vibes. Becoming a billionaire may not be your obsession, but I bet you wouldn't mind improving your financial situation. In this video, I want to share with you the principles on the wealth of a little-known figure in Italy, but who deserves much more attention. Have you ever heard of Naval Ravikant? Well, if there's someone who can teach you how to become a billionaire, or even a millionaire if you don't have big claims, it's definitely Naval. Naval Ravikant is the most famous angel investor in Silicon Valley, as well as founder of AngelList, the reference portal for startups, investors, and young professionals who would like to start their career in new tech companies. Born in 1974 in New Delhi, India, at the age of 9 he moved with his family to New York. In 1995 he graduated from Dartmouth College, and in 1996 he started working for an internet service provider based in Silicon Valley. For a few years, he worked in the shadows, head down, until in 1999, he decided to found, together with partner ePinions.com, an online review site. This first company was followed by many others. But his career as an angel investor, i.e., the one who provides the very first funds to newborn startups, catapulted him into the Olympus of the Silicon Valley gods. And Naval did it with exceptional flair by soon investing in Uber, Twitter, Wish.com, and dozens of other companies that have become real tech giants. His career as an entrepreneur and investor ensured his worth of $2.2 billion today. But Naval is a decidedly anonymous figure among those who populate California's Silicon Valley, and his advice on how to become a billionaire, and on wealth in general, is permeated by a deep knowledge of philosophy and a desire to go beyond the mere acclamation of material goods in favor of the search for true well-being. A few months ago, our philosopher angel, who makes very sporadic use of social media, decided to share on his Twitter profile what he believes are the fundamental principles for getting rich, without being lucky. In this video, I present to you the 13 principles that I have found most important of all that you need to start practicing right now if you want to become a billionaire. If financial freedom is among your goals, I hope you find the principles of Naval Ravikant deeply inspiring. Before starting, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Principle 1. Wealth, money, and status are three very different things. Seek wealth, not money or status. Wealth means having things that make you money while you sleep. Money is a way of transferring time and wealth. Status is your place on the social ladder. If you want to build real wealth in your life, stop chasing that next pay raise or cash injection. Focus on building systems and acquiring assets that allow you to earn money over the long term and on an ongoing basis. Flaunting has a lot more to do with low self-esteem and seeking approval from others than with actual wealth. Principle number 2. Those who despise do not buy. Remember to build wealth ethically. If you secretly despise wealth, it will avoid you. Social envy is the first obstacle to one's financial growth. If we were taught from an early age that all the rich are arrogant, unhappy, and thieves, we will hardly join the club. Cognitive dissonance would be excessive. However, the truth is quite different. Money is simply an amplifier of what we already are. If not money, for example, what would make a person arrogant? An arrogant enricher is simply an ex-poor who did not yet have the means to be a bully. Principle number 3. Some climb by creating and some by destroying. Ignore people who play social role-playing games. They get their status by attacking people who are dedicated to creating wealth. Modern society is made up of a complex network of hierarchies. There are those who choose to climb these hierarchies by developing new skills and creating value for the wider society, and those who choose to do it instead by destroying the other participants. The current Italian and international political landscape are excellent examples of how some individuals are increasing their personal prestige and power, destroying others, without worrying about creating anything. Principle number 4. The fundamentals. You will not get rich by selling your time. You have to own at least one piece of a business to achieve financial freedom. Principle number 5. The world doesn't give a damn about your passions. You'll get rich by giving the world what it wants but doesn't yet know how to get on a large scale. For years on the internet, there's been this myth of making money with your passions. Yes, of course, to earn a lot of money, you have to put passion into what you do, but forget about becoming a billionaire thanks to your passion for Japanese salmonella. Only by creating and selling a product or service that solves a problem for a large enough group of people can you generate wealth. Principle number 6. It takes years to be successful overnight. You have to play long enough. Any success in life, be it financial, in relationships, or in research, arises from the compound interest of daily commitment. Many of us are convinced that success is a linear path. Nothing could be more wrong. The curve of success looks much more like an inverted hockey stick. For a long time, despite your efforts, nothing seems to happen. Then suddenly the results come exponentially. To collect those results, however, you have to play for enough time without ever giving up. Principle number 7. The 2 skills you need to become a billionaire. Learn to sell, learn to create. If you can do both, you'll be unstoppable. There are 2 basic types of entrepreneurs. The born sellers. They excel at the ancient art of selling and love being able to get their products and services to as many people as possible. The inventors. They have deep technical knowledge and love to lock themselves away in some laboratory to create their inventions. They are engineers, programmers, technicians, or simply creative. In each of us, one of these profiles dominates, but those who manage to perfect both of these skills can achieve unparalleled success. Principle number 8. Knowledge is not enough. Arm yourself with specific knowledge, reliability, and the ability to influence. The personal growth industry is home to bullshit. This awareness has always clashed with my engineering background, but I tried to make the best of this conflict, bringing to Italy a philosophy of personal improvement that was concrete, practical, and effective. In general, whether we identify ourselves as a seller or as an inventor, in order to achieve our financial goals, we need to acquire in-depth and specific knowledge either of a specific sector, i.e. catering, or a specific set of skills, i.e. copywriting. This type of knowledge cannot be acquired by attending a simple course or reading a book. It is the result of the encounter between the study of concepts and the application in practice. But knowledge is not enough. To develop a business that flourishes over the long term, we also need to prove ourselves reliable, people, companies that others can trust. Finally, our capacity for ethical persuasion will also make the difference in our economic success. In this regard, if you haven't already done so, you absolutely must read the reference book in this area, The Weapons of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Principle number 9. The need to do. Reading is faster than listening. Doing is faster than looking. When we embark on a new project, we often fall into the so-called training trap. We feel the need to read articles, listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos, and attend courses. We delude ourselves that informing and training ourselves on what we want to develop allows us to make progress towards our goals. We want to make sure we know everything, even before taking the first step. It's a trap. Hey, don't get me wrong. Training has been my great passion for the last 20 years. Wow, for a few years now I've been training there. But watching a para-guru on stage won't make your dreams come true. Yes, it may give you some healthy inspiration. Maybe it will make you feel good, like you might feel good attending a concert, but your dreams will remain there, in that damn drawer. Train yourself, do it as efficiently as possible, and do it consistently, but then dedicate all your energies to doing. And imperfect action will give you much more progress than flawless training. Principle number 10. Set yourself an ambitious rate. Imagine you have your own very ambitious hourly rate. If the time you spend solving a particular problem saves you less than your hourly rate, ignore it. If hiring someone else to do a task costs you less than your hourly rate, delegate it. 1,000 euros an hour. This is the hourly rate I gave myself to decide which collaborations to accept and which activities of my business to focus on. For example, when I am invited to conferences or to give live interventions, I generally request a budget of 9,000 euros, which takes into account the duration of the intervention, the time necessary for preparation, and various traveling. I apply the same logic for my daily work. This article, for example, took me about 8 hours of work, including research, various drafts, and proofreading. In other words, applying my hourly rate, it cost me 8,000 euros. If you start thinking from this point of view and respect it as if that money really came out of your pocket, two interesting things happen. Finally, stop wasting time on bullshit. You ensure that your work is of such level of excellence that it is worth every last euro of your rate. The hourly rate is one of the most effective strategies for focusing on one's priorities, learning to delegate without guilt, and understanding which projects to follow up on and which not. So choose your ambitious hourly rate and learn to make decisions that respect the value of your time. Principle number 11. Never forget this. Work as hard as you can, but remember that who you work with and what you work on are more important than how hard you work. The 11th rule of Naval to become a billionaire that I've chosen for you contains the quintessence of personal effectiveness. You can work like a bastard 100 hours a week, but if you work on the wrong activities and do it with the wrong people, you only risk depleting your physical and mental energy, making insignificant progress. Carefully choose your priorities and the people you work with, partners, collaborators, customers, suppliers, etc. Principle number 12. Don't settle. He becomes the best in the world at what you do and keeps questioning what you do until it's true. Remember this principle enunciated by our philosopher angel, especially when you achieve the first semblance of success. The moment you think you've understood the rules of the game, they have the bad habit of changing. Principle number 13. Another story. When you are finally rich, you will realize that it was not what you were looking for at the beginning of your journey. But that's another story. As mentioned in the introduction of the video, Naval Ravikant is a complex and partly anonymous figure compared to the typical Silicon Valley billionaire. From a young age, Naval has combined the obsession with excellence in his career as an entrepreneur and investor with the pursuit of well-being. Listening to a recent interview with him, I was surprised with his methodical attitude toward happiness. For years, he has dedicated time and energy to understanding exactly how to improve his psychophysical condition and ultimately be happier. Here, this aspect is often underestimated by those who pursue success and wealth. Too many of us assume that wealth is the real goal and that once it is achieved, all our problems will magically be solved. It is not so. Money can make our lives more comfortable, simpler, and undoubtedly it is easier to think about your personal happiness when you do not have to think about mortgage payments or bills. But I repeat, wealth will not be the solution to all your problems. So apply the principles of Naval to keep chasing your financial freedom, but don't forget yourself along the way. He works in your shadows and fights your demons. Doing so will contribute to your economic growth, and this in turn will give you access to even more sophisticated tools and knowledge for your well-being. I hope this video has been an inspiration to you. Let me know in the comments and I'll wait for you in the next video. That's all for today. Thanks for watching the video and see you next time.